Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another art news video. This is another packed episode today. All the people we do coverage on seemingly decided to post on Friday and Saturday. On top of that, I have been neck deep in Resident Evil Requiem. Yes, it is amazing. I might make a video on it later if I feel like it. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta make sure that workload balance is still good. We'll be in the sketchbook for a little bit today. This is old, and I mean like really old. I've had this for like 15 years, I think, and I haven't used it much at all. There's probably under 20 pages that have something on it. But we're gonna start here and probably move into the iPad eventually. I am feeling a bit off about drawing today, and I think it's because I have a specific project that I'm more excited to do some work on, but I'm not filming any of that right now. I'm only filming that process for that project specifically, and I'm not using any of the footage for the art news stuff, so I'm just not gonna draw it right now. Best believe though, the second I end recording for this, I'm jumping into that immediately. Sometimes your art speaks to you and you know what you need to get into. I'm doing some loose sketches here, you know, just some some inconsequential. I'm gonna leave that in too. I'm not even this is just some inconsequential art. But yeah, let me cut in the mug flex real fast. Another one of Swan's mugs. This is the golden polka dots, and inside I have a protein caramel latte. Go out there and be active, y'all. The weather is creeping back to normal, so just get outside, get some outside time, touch grass. Regardless of that, guys, let's get into the art news. Packed full of info. Everybody wants to talk about lighting, which is great because I need it. Marc is back with the exact skills to practice daily in order to continue and improve your skills. From gesture drawing, building shapes from imagination, and finishing a piece of art every week, he even breaks down the process of what percentage of your time you should be putting into all this. I resonate with this pretty well. My personal study method runs pretty close to this. It's not exactly a one-to-one, but things like this show me that I'm on the right path in my own journey. Marc has really been pointing out the psychology of learning art lately, and I love it. After that, Marc is giving us a tutorial on drawing faces. He speaks pretty much from the basis of a simplified Loomis method, which is what most artists work off of. He's got a free 3D head model on his website if you want to check that out. It gives you some good help with like angles and everything. But Marc goes in depth here to simplify things for us. He gets into his own differentiations between masculine and feminine features to demonstrate how versatile this is. Marc draws a total of 20 faces as a showcase, and he encourages us to sketch along with him, which I absolutely decided to do because why not? It was fun. Check out those videos from the links below. Comparison is a topic that we're getting into a lot here, and our review of this starts with Adam. He's posted a video talking about how people are essentially comparing themselves too often and too highly to one another. We all develop differently, and inspiration isn't a bad thing. But Adam points out here that people are comparing themselves unequivocally to other artists that are much farther along in their own journey. If you've been drawing for 2 years, scroll on social media, seeing an artist that has been drawing for 10 years and think that you suck, you're completely mistaken. I've said things akin to this myself. You have to be selective of who you compare yourself to. If they've been drawing for the same amount of time as you and are similarly aged, studied similarly, then maybe it makes sense for you to try and compare. Truthfully though, you want someone that's a bit ahead of you. That way you can track and plan your own progression. Be careful about who you compare yourself to and try your best to set realistic expectations for yourself. Check out Adam's video, and this time you'll get a Polish phrase and you'll get to see Gimli, his cat. Antonio feels that the art industry is garbage now. Why does he think this? Well, according to Antonio, relatability is ruining art educational content. Antonio's push here is that in every other industry, there are safeguards to who you can trust. Their results are apparent. Like a couple of the examples he gives are singing and the fitness industry. You can see and hear those results and wouldn't take anyone seriously if they didn't have them. In the art education industry, he feels that trends and relatability are drawing people's eyes more than professional educators who have proven track records. Antonio makes it clear that he doesn't think there's anything wrong with creating content for entertainment, but his beef seems to be with the inexperienced leading people astray with trends to sell them a program that may have misinformation in it and no professional accolades. He even brings up view dips in channels like Proko, which, spoiler alert, we're talking about them today. Honestly, on the main topic, I can see where he's coming from here. I've talked about being critical of things on this channel before, and I definitely will say that I 100% wouldn't pay for anyone's services who didn't have any professional background or accolades. That's a very base level boundary. You have to have achieved a certain level of something before I can pay you for you to teach me how to do it. Otherwise, why would I waste my money? Go check out Antonio's video on this and, get his perspective straight from the source. Antonio has another video focused on what seems to be our main theme today, lighting. He discusses a very important light principle called 3-point lighting. It's based on the key light, bounce light, and backlight. These three things give the most three-dimensionality of your art. Antonio breaks this down and even explains a fourth light that gives your background separation. If you think that's all we get out of this, you're wrong. Antonio explains the different angles of all of these lightings that completely change how these things affect your art. I honestly needed this, and I think I'm about to dive into something with this stuff in mind. I gotta apply this to a project. It's too good. Sam has returned to rate some art glow-ups. I love people's progression with art, and this was just so beautiful. Sam even reinforces something that I've said myself on this channel. When moving from one medium to another, those skills translate. The artists that submitted in this video made some insane growth. Some of them even did full-on recreations of their own old art. We call that a redux on this channel. Plenty more of that is coming. This video was welcome. Gives me a good feeling about drawing, actually. Kind of helps me with a little bit of how I'm feeling with the art I'm doing right now. Might make you guys some new art. I don't know. Maybe some new art videos. Who knows? Kooleen is playing Gartic Phone. I've never played this, but it seems pretty interesting. Every person starts a drawing and then all of the other people finish everybody else's drawings. And they just kind of, compare and contrast. You get to see how everyone did. Kooleen's video looks like a window into brain rot, to be honest. But hey, it's her Discord server, so Marcel is teaching us about the coil method. This is used in order to accurately portray foreshortening in your art. He talks about how it works and also what the downsides are. As he stated in his video, this isn't usually used by professionals because it's too messy, and honestly, most professionals have that perspective drawing down. This is a quick and fun video to check out for perspective practice, so give it a watch. We are back on the 1000 channel with a post-apocalyptic art battle. Our artists this time are Kaiserilla, Monkey Mouth Art, Nina Pelaroja, and of course, Peter. The way this works, Peter basically spins a few wheels to give us the setting and a couple of random objects. For a few of the artists, this was a major push against their style. These guys are all professionals though, so they're no strangers to thinking outside of the box. Peter decides to grab a skateboard for his canvas yet again. This he has definitely done before. In fact, he mentions that it was the first art battle on the channel. But the evolution of all of these pieces was amazing. Anybody that said they were dealing with weird struggles may have been, but they showed clearly that they are artists through and through. Real quick, we're gonna break away from the videos and talk about some of the IG posts for a second. Yeah, I bet y'all thought I was about to say something about a sponsor. We ain't sponsored yet. Relax. So Ross has returned. Ross Tran has been away from social media for almost a year. Before that, he was gone for even longer. His first return was where he revealed that he had been taking a break due to burnout, and he came back to announce a new book. Afterwards, about a year ago, there was some unfortunate controversy that supposedly involved questions about AI, accusations of unpaid work, and other things. Ross's last video from about a year ago addressed all of this from his perspective, and afterwards, things seemed to go quiet as he presumably took another break to focus on his mental health and creating. With a single post on Wednesday, he has seemingly returned. He mentions his new book and that there are new things coming soon. Listen, I won't get too deep into this, but Ross is one of my big three. I've mentioned before that there are 3 specific artists that I have been studying for the last 4 years, and Ross is one of them. All of them posted videos that helped me overcome my own hurdles with mental health and all of my struggles, and it started with Ross. I'm hoping that we get to see some new things from Ross soon. It's great to see you back and posting something. And since we're talking about them already, Josh is still in his challenge of drawing every day, but unfortunately he's decided to stop posting them for the time being. It's not all sad news though. Josh has been drawing at an event held by Zillow, putting his architecture skills to use. In a story post, he points out that he still plans to draw daily, but when talking about content, he wants that to be redirected. Don't worry, Josh, we're still here to help for support. In fact, I did subtly promise Josh that at some point in the year, I'd pick up the challenge for about a month or so. Gotta make do on that at some point. So we'll see how that goes. Actually, why don't we hand this off like a baton? It's not a race, it's just an art relay. We'll see what happens. Our last big 3 posts is from Sam, posting some beautiful Punch the Monkey art. If you're not familiar with this story, Punch is a little monkey at a zoo that was abandoned and bullied for a time. The only comfort he had was a stuffed monkey plushie. It's heartbreaking to hear this, but somehow the art community latched onto this just a bit, with everyone doing their own art representation of Punch the Monkey. Like I mentioned before, Sam did his own and it was beautiful. To put everyone's mind at ease, Punch seems to have made some friends of late, and they are giving him love and protection. Time to bring a new art channel into the fold. Everyone, we are covering Proko. Stan Prokopinko is an art teacher that specifically wanted Proko to be a tool for aspiring artists. The beautiful thing about this is that Stan isn't our only instructor for these videos. He brings in guest artists all the time. Some of them have even been artists that we've covered on the channel, like Josiah and Antonio. To kick off the year, we get a nice water rendering tutorial on the Proko channel by Devin L. Kurtz. She makes this so simple to understand and walks us all the way through her process. I needed this so bad. I have a water study coming up because there's a water related piece that I'm planning, and this is definitely going into the rotation. Devin makes a couple fish brushes on the fly and discusses loads of tips and tricks with lighting. The shadows and rendering and all of those things, she has such precise skill with this. She's using Photoshop, showing us everything including brush settings, and as she's painting, she's explaining why these choices are made. Go watch this video, it's so good. Next, we continue with the amazing art tutorials by getting a beautiful breakdown of traditional background painting by Eve Schuyler. This is all based on storytelling of the piece, and Eve doesn't disappoint. She explains what she likes about her favorite tools while giving us a rich view into what makes authentic storytelling work in pieces like this. Opening it up with a storyboard sketch review really showed me how much care Eve was coming into this with. I mean, it's not surprising in the slightest because she's worked for big name companies like Disney, Sega, and other huge industry heads. The next Proko video is hosted by Dave Greco and is focused on character design. We get to watch him go through his design process for a merchant character. He intros with sort of a continuous line drawing method, and this is pure concept pooling, pouring all of those cool designs and ideas that lead to the beginning and ultimately the evolution of a full character design. It just reminds you and gives you good insight into the fact that this stuff is a team effort, and the evolution of an idea often comes from initiating the creativity within the next person. Dave's background as a concept artist was for companies like Blizzard, and it shines great here. He hints at what the full process ultimately turns into in the professional world. Hard, soft, and lost edges are super important when it comes to the illusion of form, and Stan himself showcases this and how we play with this concept. He's got a lesson for us to try out with the mascot of the channel, Skelly. This is actually the last lesson in the Drawing Basics course on Proko.com. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and peek at it. We're not done with Dave Greco, as we essentially have a part 2 to the previous video that was led by him. He's back getting us some shape language of all the loose line art that he just slightly more defined. We get to see how those things evolve and the experimentation of what the creativity is. The thought process that he has is lovely. I personally think that the insight into this is just as valuable as the art. Hearing him talk about what certain things look like, or what they could do, or how it could play into the way that maybe the rest of the team is working when you're doing character design, it's great. This is actually a full lesson on Proko.com, so if you are interested, go check it out. Next on the Proko channel, we have a sketchbook tour segment from Eliza Ivanova's Developing Your Style course. Again, I enjoy videos like these. Seeing artists of this caliber talk about where they were mentally and how they felt when they were creating certain things, she gives some insight on paper texture and, just to start that off, and then dives super deep into all the art talk. Her sketches are great. Give this a watch. Speaking more on developing style, we have a video by Stephen Bowman telling us pretty much that it's okay to take crazy risks with creativity. Rather than smoothing everything into perfection, which I'm very guilty of, he wants us to be abstract sometimes. He shows us this by giving us a pretty extremely stylized version of Grebenikov's sphere. Style is not a straight line, so check out Steven's explanation of this. We got a packed stream with Tiffany Mang discussing the essentials of painting. This is adjacent to the course that she has on Proko.com of the same name. Tiffany has worked on tons of animated shows that we have all watched. She specifically shows us some of the color key paintings from Marvel's What If to start. The discussion of lighting and how she broke into being a color key artist for all of these companies like Warner Bros. And Sony is pretty great. This is an hour-and-a-half stream, so put it on in the background, get inspired, and just start making some things. The last video on the Proko channel is all about getting your lighting right. Our instructor for this is Ben Elbin, and he showcases this in real time. First, he makes his own color reference, and then he works his way into coloring. His thought process here is great. I love how he really made sure that his shadows were just deep blue all on the inside to make the warmer colors pop. His little tip about how he uses the multiply layer for hints at the subsurface scattering and everything are great. I'm probably gonna steal that one for the future. It just, you know, it looks so good. The plane shifting, everything, all of it is explained effortlessly. I think that Ben was really dropping some beautiful tips on us. You got to check this out. You have to see this video. And everyone, that is it. Man, that is a lot. I don't think you guys understand how long I've been recording. I'm tired. I've actually been awake for a long time. Resident Evil was part of that, but another part of that was like the rest of my everyday life. Either way, guys, hey, I hope you've been enjoying these art news videos. I've been trying to figure out how long I feel like they should be. Like I said, everybody drops stuff on like Friday and Saturday, and so I watched the videos like I always do, did some art like I always do, but I was preparing to drop this video with like maybe a couple things and then the full-on Proko recap. I guess you guys got a long episode now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed all of this, the exploration of all of the art and seeing everybody, seeing what they're getting up to. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the links in the below, you know, of all of the artists. Check out the polls that I have down there. Let me know which art is the best. Let me know what day you would like this posted on. Thank you for tuning in to the art news with me. And with that being said, I'll see you soon.